Today I'm going to show you how to make a nest box for wild birds using a recycled milk carton. So for this project you're going to need a milk carton, some waterproof tape, some string, some rigid plastic. This is the lid off a dip pot. You could use a dip pot or a yoghurt pot or any other piece of fairly rigid plastic that you've got around the house. A bradawl, a ruler, a craft knife, a pen. I've got a marker pen, but any pen that will show up on your milk carton will do, and some scissors. The first thing we need to do is cut the hole in the carton. We need to cut the hole at least 12 centimetres from the bottom of the carton to stop small birds falling out of the nest when they're babies, and also to stop cats from scooping them out. It also leaves a bit of space in the bottom for the actual nest itself, and then for the birds to still be secure inside after that. So with my ruler I'm going to just measure up 12 centimetres from the bottom of the carton and just mark a little dot there so we know whereabouts that is. So to make the hole, you don't want a hole any bigger than about 3 centimetres for small garden birds such as tits and sparrows. Just conveniently, the size of the lid of the carton is round about 3 centimetres, which is absolutely perfect for the job to use as a template. So I'm going to take the lid off the carton and I'm going to use that to draw around to make my hole. So I've taken the lid off my carton and I'm just going to draw around it on the front here, which will mark the hole for me to cut out with the knife. There we are, there's a rough hole there. I'm going to put the lid back on because we want to make sure that there's not any rain getting in to our bird nest box. Now the next step is to cut out the hole in the front of the carton. Now I'm going to use a craft knife to do this. If you are a child, do get an adult to help with that because blades are very sharp and we don't want any accidents. So you just need to insert that into your carton and very carefully cut around it. It's quite tricky to do, so what I'm doing are just small holes and then just joining them up. As I say, do get adult help with this if you need it. I forgot to say at the start, make sure that you have washed your carton out really well before you start as well, because you don't want any juice or milk still in there because it's not very nice for the birds. They don't want a mouldy nest. So here we are. We have got the hole all ready for the birds to get in and out of the nest. Next step we need to do, I'm just going to open these flaps up at the top here. I don't actually undo them so that the carton comes apart. And we are now going to make some holes in the bottom, just 4 holes in the bottom. This is really, again, I'm using the bradawl here. It's quite sharp, so do get adult help with this if you need to. Just going to make 4 holes in the bottom of the carton, 1 at each corner. This is just to let some ventilation get into your nest box, and also if any rainwater does get in, it can drain away. While I'm doing this, I'm going to make some holes in these pointy flaps here as well. This is so that we can hang the nest box up later. So again, if you need help with that, get an adult to help you. And I'm going to make these holes, wiggle it around a little bit and make them a bit bigger because we need to be able to put the string through at the end. There we go. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to stop the rain getting into the nest box, because as it stands the rain could go in that way. So we're going to make a little porch for our nest box. This is where our plastic lid comes in, and this should keep that slightly sheltered. It's quite useful because I've got a rim around the inside of my lid which will just hook quite nicely over the top of the lid of the carton while I stick it on. So we need to take our waterproof tape now and cut some strips of that. lid onto the carton. You need a sort of reasonably heavy duty kind of tape to do that, because otherwise it's going to come off in the rain. And also it's quite hard to stick a plastic lid to a milk carton with ordinary sellotape, so you definitely need some kind of slightly more robust, more waterproof type of tape if you've got that at home. So once you've stuck your little porch on, I've stuck a few bits of tape on the top. I've also stuck one underneath as well, so that it doesn't blow up in the wind and blow away, and keeps it nicely in place. You need to cut some string to hang the nest box from the tree. So I'm going to cut quite a long piece, probably about getting on for about 1 meter's worth of string, just because you don't know where you're going to hang it yet, so it's easier to have a nice long bit so that you can tie it nicely to your branches. So now you have to thread your string up through these holes you made earlier in the little corner flaps there. So from underneath out through the top, and then through from the top back down underneath the other side, like that. Now look, I haven't knotted it or made a loop or anything like that from it. I'm just leaving the ends loose at the moment, because you might want to hang it on a branch that you can't actually hang it from very easily, because there are other branches and twigs coming off the end of it. So I've left my ends loose for now, ready to hang it onto the tree. You're going to want to hang it quite close to the trunk of the tree so that it doesn't sway around in the breeze, because birds aren't going to want to build their nest in something that's kind of dangling in the breeze like this. It's not very nice for them. So leave your strings long like that. And then I'm going to put some around the bottom as well, so that when we put it up against the trunk of the tree, we can tie it against the tree to keep it nice and secure and rigid on the tree. So again, another length of string, probably much the same length again, because you don't know how long you're going to need it at this point. I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to use some of my tape again, and I'm just going to stick this bit round the middle, around 3 sides here on my carton, so that when I get to the tree I can tie this up nice and securely against the trunk of the tree. So now I've stuck my piece of string all around the 3 sides there. So our little nest box is finished. It's time to go and hang it on the tree. I found the perfect place to put it. I'm going to put it up here, because I can tie it to this overhanging branch up here, and then also tie it to the sturdy bit of the tree to keep it in place. So now tied nice and securely, I've tied it right around, and it's suspended above from the top. So when the wind blows, it stays put on the tree, and it's nice and high up. Should be nice and safe. And there's our nest box up in the tree. Now we just have to wait and see if any birds come and make their home in it.